After Effects just killed the Roto Brush. Unreal Engine 5.8 lets you sculpt caves and vibe code your blueprints, and LottieFiles launches Motion System to bring consistent animation into your design workflow. It's Motion Mondays. Let's get into it. Most design teams have a design system for colors, types, spacing, and components, but not motion. Well, LottieFiles is here to fix just that. They've been in the design systems world for quite a while, and Motion System is their answer to a gap they kept seeing. Easing curves living in someone's brain, timing decisions buried in a random After Effects file, and motion guidelines sitting in a PDF that no one opens. The fix is a workspace level layer where you set the rules once and every tool pulls from the same source. So the integrations are for Lottie Creator, After Effects, and Figma. Basically, you set it up once, use the same curves, timing, and easing flow from the design exploration through production without needing to rebuild from scratch on every single project. Companies like Google, Uber, and Cash App already have these types of motion guidelines, and most teams actually have nowhere to put them, and it feels like Motion System is trying to fix that. Someone got tired of paying subscriptions for animation apps and just built their own instead. DoAnimation is a browser-based animation app. It doesn't have an install, you don't need an account, and there's no cloud lock-in. Files save locally. It has a viewport, onion skinning, a keyframe timeline with exposure control, camera controls, and a layer system. The UI has a very Flash-era feel to it, which is either a feature or a warning depending on your history with Flash. You can try it for free. The premium upgrade is a one-time purchase, not a subscription. It's kind of the point. And it's made by Kindred, a creative studio that built it for themselves first. It's live now at their website, which you'll find the link to in the description. Now on to some School of Motion news. We're launching our Unreal Engine for Broadcast Design course today, taught by none other than Jonathan Winbush, the Unreal GOAT. The course is built for motion designers who want to bring their work into Unreal for real-time graphics, broadcast packages, and motion design workflows. Now, this is not a general Unreal course. It's built for people who might be coming from After Effects or Cinema 4D and want to understand what Unreal Engine can actually do for the kind of work that they make. The course is now live for all access members right now. Also live is Rive Academy Kickstart. It's fully re-recorded on the new UI, and it's in the library if you're an all-access member. Node Ninja for Unreal Engine is also still free at the link in the description if you missed that last week. Now coming down the pike, we got 2 more Blender courses incoming. We got Product Visualization in Blender. It's deep in production right now. It looks amazing. And we got Grease Pencil Field Guide. It's an intro course on Grease Pencil taught by Elijah, aka Sweet Boy Motion. Both are going to be absolutely incredible for anyone wanting to dive deeper into Blender. Community-wise, portfolio reviews are this Thursday, June 25th for our all-access members. Office hours are now bi-weekly, and it's where we have our live sessions with TAs and the School of Motion team to get feedback, ask questions, and connect with other artists. We have actually over 4,500 of those artists on All Access right now. So if you want to join in on the fun, link will be in the description to learn more. Unreal Engine 5.8 is out, and it added true 3D terrain sculpting, a built-in toon shader, and an experimental plugin that lets you drop Claude into your blueprint graph. The terrain system is the big deal for environment work. Unreal's landscape tools really couldn't handle caves, overhangs, or complex geometry before this. Now you get full 3D sculpting with nanite-powered density, non-destructive layer editing, and procedural vegetation. On the character side of things, MetaHuman Crowd handles scalable digital human crowds across all platforms. They added markerless full-body motion capture that works with a single camera. And Mesh to MetaHuman supports full bodies now, so any mesh becomes a fully rigged digital human. They added a built-in toon shader, so anime, cartoon, and hand-drawn looks are now achievable without third-party tools. And then there's the experimental MCP plugin. It allows you to connect Claude or other AI models directly into Unreal and automate asset creation, testing, and optimization with access to blueprints, assets, levels, materials, and meshes. You can go ahead and vibe blueprints as well. Now, a lot is packed into this release, so be sure to check out the full list over at Epic's website. Link will be in the description. And speaking of Unreal 5.8, we just updated Node Ninja, our free Unreal Engine plugin for instantly building PBR materials. It now works in the latest version of Unreal. Link is in the description. Epic posted a behind-the-scenes look at how their artists use AI in their concepting pipeline, and the comment section was a fun read. The video itself is interesting. It shows Epic artists working through a concepting process. So hand sketching, gray box blockouts in Blender, and then AI tools used as a render layer on top. They had Nano Banana generating 3/4 views and PR quality shots from references, and Gen Media inside of Photoshop was handling rendering acceleration. Now they showed the artists doing their creative work and showing how the AI was accelerating parts of that iteration. The comments were a little bit less focused on that workflow and a little focused on the fact that Epic laid off around 1,000 people not too long ago. And here they're showing how AI speeds up their art pipeline. So tension is real there. Now, what the video shows, if you actually watch it closely, is actually how much cleanup is still required. You had hand paint overs, manual corrections, rebuilding assets in 3D anyways, because in reality, that's where the real control lives. So while AI can shorten certain steps, getting something that you would actually ship still takes skill. If you ever wanted to vibe code your own After Effects tools but didn't know where to start, well, Jake Bartlett just built the community for that. So Motion Lab it's not a course, it's a live workspace where Jake builds AI-powered AE scripts, extensions, and tools in real time, and you're there building right alongside with him. He's going to have 2 live sessions a month, replays, and primer videos on Extend Script and AI models. Now for this week's cool work from around the interwebs. First up is Fafa Motion. They're a Chinese artist doing experimental playful work inside a cavalry. The Running Man piece shows what procedural animation looks like when it's used for expression and not just for efficiency. Plus we have a cavalry kickstart course if you want to go deeper on that. Next is this Roomba ad by Ryoga Toyota, and is a product spot that goes stylized in a space that almost always defaults to Houdini sims and hyperrealism. I just love how fun this looks, and it just goes to show the different sensibilities in different regions. Like Japan, they love leaning into their character design. It was a deliberate choice, and I love it. And finally, Blink Inc. did the FIFA and BBC World Cup coverage, and it's a mix of live action and stop motion. The knitting and scarves are actually real physical work, not simply After Effects. The behind the scenes is really worth watching and is yet another example of studios proving the work was done by humans and not AI. It was really cool how they pulled off a lot of those little shots. And as always, links to all the work will be in the description below. A developer hated Retopology so much, they started building their own tool, and the first 35-second preview got 1.5 million views. Rehan Bari's RetopoSketch for Blender works like this. You draw strokes on a 3D surface and it generates clean quad topology from those strokes. And the strokes work like an editable vector path in 3D space, so you can just adjust them after the fact, which is really cool. Now the approach is based on a SIGGRAPH paper on sketch-based quad mesh generation, much like Cozy Blanket Pro, which is also in development. A lot of people very tired of doing retopology apparently. There's no release date yet, and you can follow along and support it at savepixel.com/RetopoSketch. ZBrush has a lot of strengths, but intuitive brush navigation, never been one of those things. RadialZ is a floating radial brush picker from Pablo Munoz Gomez that puts your brushes at your cursor, organized by workflow stage. Thumbnails, gesture select, full support for custom brushes, VDMs and IMM brushes. If you've ever spent time in ZBrush hunting through menus or memorizing hotkeys mid-sculpt, this is a real time saver for you. It's optimized for Wacom workflows, no scripting required, no performance hit. It's going to be a one-time purchase and Windows only at launch, coming soon, so stay tuned. Now, if you ever had a tracking shot fall apart because something moved in front of what you were tracking, Mocha Pro 2026.5 was built specifically for that problem. The headliner here is Point Track ML, an AI tracking model that handles shots that used to be unsolvable. So surfaces turning away from camera, objects moving out of frame, occlusion, dramatic light shifts. It works inside Power Mesh for deforming surface like skin and cloth, and inside Adjust Track where it automatically detects and corrects drifting points. The demo is really impressive. You got folding pages, deforming pillows, faces in motion. Object Brush also got updated with auto region of interest and hover to preview for live viewport updates. There's a lot more updates, so check out the full video. The link will be in the description below to get caught up on all that's new in Mocha Pro. Seth Jensen is a creative producer from Washington State with a background in large-scale content operations. Our student of the week this week came to Cavalry Kickstart expecting to just learn an animation app, but left thinking about scalable content systems. In his word, instead of focusing on individual assets, I've started thinking about scalable creative systems that can generate, manage, and adapt content automatically. Now, that's the type of thinking that using Cavalry tends to unlock. It's not just a new tool, but a new frame for how to approach motion at a large scale. So congratulations, Seth, and welcome to the community. Higgsfield just dropped a Photoshop plugin, and the feature buried third on their list might be one of the most useful for motion designers. It's called Automatic Layer Decomposition, and it works just like the recently announced Canva Magic Layer. So basically how it works is you drop any image and it intelligently separates it into editable layers. Text separates out, subject separates, background separate. For anyone that's prepping AI-generated images or reference frames before bringing them into After Effects, this will actually help you cut out a lot of that manual work. There's two other features there. There's real-time sketch to image, turns your canvas drawing into an AI refined image live, and prompt-based restyling that lets you restyle reference photos with a text prompt while keeping the composition intact. It's available now and for Photoshop 2024 and up. Adobe has had a lot of features parked in beta inside After Effects for a while now, and last week a bunch of them officially graduated to the full version. Now the biggest one is that Roto Brush is gone. Pour one out for Roto Brush. Object Map now replaces it. You now have 4 AI selection tools, and this is the same AI masking system that's been in Premiere for a while now, fully inside of After Effects. Now the Roto Brush workflow was functional, but this is actually a lot better. Also notable, SVG import is in editable shape layers, gradient strokes and transparency all come through intact. You can copy and paste from Illustrator now and works natively without any conversion step. On the 3D side, displacement maps are officially in, as is cinematic depth of field, which is now working across models, meshes, text, and shape layers, and Substance Community Assets are now supported with those displacement maps in the viewport. Premiere got faster AI object masking and new effects. Photoshop got reflection removal, which shoots through glass images and separates the reflection onto its own layer. The remove tool also got an on-device offline capable upgrade. And Illustrator gets concept to vector built in, which turns rough sketches into editable vectors. And then the long time requested one, Align Center, is now on the Align Tools panel. Took a while, but hey, it's finally in there. There's a lot of updates, so a link with all of those updates listed will be in the description below. And that's it for Motion Mondays this week. A reminder to all of our All Access members, Unreal Engine for Broadcast Design is live today. And remember, portfolio reviews are this Thursday, June 25th. Links for everything we talked about will be in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great week. I'll see you next time.